I am Haruna Ilerika, born 27th October 1949. I joined the national team in 1971, and on the playing tour of the Green Eagles by then that went to the West African tour in preparation for the second All-Africa Games in 73. In 71, our first port of call was in Mali. We were defeated 2-0. I didn't show up at all. I was not even in the reserve, but I was part of the team. We got to Sierra Leone again. We were defeated 1-0. I was in the reserve. I wore the jersey number 9, although I didn't play at all. Then the last match was against Liberia in Monrovia, and that was where God, answered my prayer, and I became Nigeria number 9. I played favorably well to the extent that the Nigerians in Monrovia, in Liberia, they came inside the field after the game. We won 3-0. They started doling out Liberian dollars on my head, and thank God I seized the number 9 jersey from Liberia. Now come the second All-Africa Games, 1973. That was the first major competition Nigeria ever held. We hosted the second All-Africa Games in 1973 from January 7th to 18th. And thank God, I featured prominently well to the extent that I became hero of the second All-Africa Games, and I won gold for the nation. That was on the 18th January 1973, Thursday, 18th January 1973 to be precise. I still remember vividly well because that was my memorable day in life that I will never forget, having won gold medal for the whole country. Now from there again, they picked me in Nigeria. They picked myself, Victor Ojua, Sunday Oyarikwa. Then they pick all other players too from Liberia, from Ghana, from Guinea, from Morocco. They assembled all of us in Senegal. We were camped in Senegal. Hotel Meridian was the venue that we were camped, in our preparation towards Afro-Latin American Games that was held in Mexico in 1973 August. Okay. And I even featured prominently as Africa number 9 in that event in Mexico. And I think that was my farthest journey on earth, because a journey of 26 hours by air from Senegal to Mexico. Alas, I was afraid when the pilot announced that our flight time to Mexico from Senegal shall be 26 hours. I said, oh la la. I had to travel 18 hours across the Atlantic Ocean. We landed, after crossing the ocean, we landed at Venezuela, Caracas International Airport. After that, we refueled, the plane was shaked up, then we moved 8 hours again to Mexico. But thank God, those are my days. Then in 1976...
Sorry, sir. When you first, before you went for the pre-All-African Games matches?
Yes.
How old were you? And then how did you feel when you were first called into the camp?
Yes, this is a pointer to what the Commissioner for Youth and Sport in Lagos State, Bamidele, this is what he has been preaching to the youth now, that I'm an embodiment of emulation, to the youth of nowadays. When I joined the national team, I was 22 years old, and at 24, I was already an accomplished footballer. You can imagine that. But as I see youth of nowadays, some are 20, some are 30, they have not even make a name for themselves. So in my area here, I always tell them that you should do something now, the earlier the better. At 22, I joined the national team. At 22, that is. So at 22, that is 1971. 1973, I was 24. I won gold medal for my great country. At that 73 too, I won bronze medal for the whole of Africa as a continent. Am I not an accomplished somebody? So I'm an achiever in my own field as far as I'm concerned.
That's 73 All-African Games. When you were in camp, did you people feel any pressure to win the gold medal? Did you think that the country meant that you must win?
You see, the problem we are having now is that our players, because of the loss for money, they are no more dedicated. The question you ask, at our time, in 73, these are players that are ready to die for the country. We were all ready. Think of me, think of Emmanuel Okala in goal, think of Tony Igwe, the right full back, think of Sylvester Ogbege, the left full back, think of Victor Odua, now aged. All ears are now white. Think of Dominic Ezeani, who is now a aeronautic pilot in USA. Think of Gideon Njoku. Think of late Yakubu Mambo. Think of Sunday Oyarikwa, the late that striker we had at that time. Think of Josie Dombraye in Port Harcourt. Think of me, Ilerika, the diminutive midfielder. I can do anything with the ball. Let me tell you what the Sport Writers Association wrote about me in the 70s. And a coach, Ilerika. He will dribble you and you will admire the way he dribbles you. You that I dribble you, even admire that somebody dribbles you. So what are we talking about?
But did you feel any pressure that you have to win?
Yes, because we placed Nigeria high. We defended the territorial integrity of this nation on the field of play, as if to say our whole life depended on it. It is not for money, it is not for anything. We just have the guts that we must win. That nothing like winning. Okay, let me tell you. 18th January 1973 was the final day against Guinea. The then head of state, Yakubu Gowon, called us to Dodambara.
Before the match? Before the match.
Early in the morning. You could imagine that a whole head of state calling you, summoning you that it is good or nothing. And that the sky is the limit of what he's going to do for you if we win the goal. We could not even sleep. None of us had siesta. We were as if, and to top it all, he even announced to the whole nation that all offices in the whole of the federation should close by 1 p.m. to allow them watch the television or go to the stadium. And he asked of what is going on at the stadium around 10 o'clock when we were still with him. I could remember very vividly, Mr. Animashan was the stadium manager by that time. A phony message came in telling the head of state that the stadium gate has already been closed since 10 a.m. Capacity crowd of that national stadium was meant for 45,000, crowds, people. 100,000 plus watched second All Africa games. They sat up to the Tatan track, even to inside the field of play. So you can imagine the type of, even when I came in, because I was the last to come in the national team. When I came in, George Pena was our coach from Brazil. When I came in last. When I saw how the crowds were just swinging as if to say it is water from the beach. It's like ocean. Yeah? I started shedding tears. But the coach summoned my courage, pat me at the back and said, Haruna, it's you that people have come to watch. You just have to play well. And thank God, the second goal that rocked Guinea was from me.